Here is part of an interview with the subject just before LSD is to be administered.
I see. Do you feel you're normal?
I hope I'm normal. I think so.
Well, a little while back you took quite a series of psychological tests, and I can assure you that you're a very stable and well-balanced.
He needs some milk.
Hey, what up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the goddamn internet. And just right off the bat, as many of you guys know, it has been at least 6 months since I last just made a video telling you guys a fucking story. And Jesus Christ, it's even been longer than that since I've actually made a video talking about a fucking drug as well. See, many of you guys might not even know this, but I've made about 5 different videos so far talking about my first time experience with all these different types of certain drugs. Those pretty much include Molly, ecstasy, weed, fucking black tar heroin. That last one, of course, being a little bit of a joke, just a little bit. I mean, shit, guys, you guys know me. I mean, I definitely experimented with a lot of drugs, many of which opiates in the fucking Korean War. Hashtag the Clone Wars. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, guys. No, but seriously, at the end of my last video I made about drugs, I pretty much admitted that there was no other drugs to make a video about. I mean, shit, that was pretty much it. I haven't tried any other drugs besides that, so that was it. So the drug series had to end. I mean, seriously, I was faced with an ultimatum. Either go out on the streets and buy some fucking black tar heroin, or stop making the drug videos.
Shit, I ain't going over there. Grab my ass. He on that mojo, girl.
However, as many of you guys have probably already guessed from the title of this video, that little resolution epiphany at the end of the last video I showed you kinda has changed. We're in a different position in life, boys. That's right. I am officially one step closer to becoming an actual drug addict. I mean, hooray, am I right, boys? Fuck yeah, dude, because check it out, on New Year's Eve, me and my friends, and we're just gonna call her, the Columbine Shooter, me and the Columbine Shooter ended up trying LSD for the very first time, and spoiler alert, it didn't fucking end well. Yeah, I did not have the best time of all time. No, but yeah, definitely not the best experience I've had in a while. Kinda went a little bit paranoid psycho mode, and a lot of pictures was taken, a few videos that I'm definitely not releasing, one of which I was running around fucking naked, humping walls, and yeah, I don't even know what else to say, okay? I went fucking crazy, and it sounds really fun and cheerful, and yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, that's wacky and silly. No, you're absolutely wrong. I had a fucking panic attack. I was shaking. I was fucking, I thought the FBI was out to get me or something. I don't know, man. I went fucking nuts. Like, seriously, it was really fucked up. Like, seriously, look at these pictures, and you can just see this fucking insanity in my eyes. Jeez, just put the pictures up. Goddamn.
Nobody can touch my swag. Nobody can do with my swag. Nobody can touch my swag. Nobody can touch my swag.
Regardless though, today, due to popular demand, I thought I would give my full experience and tell you guys the story of this New Year's and the first time I ever did the legendary drug known as LSD. Let's just get right into this fucking nightmare.
Get him some milk.
So our story today roughly starts off at about 8 p.m. Pacific time at the coast of Seattle. And it started in a jolt. I'm waking up. My alarm clock is ringing. That's when little Calvin jumped out of bed and he realized it was 8 o'clock. Oh, and just in case you're new here, Calvin is my name. That's fucking me. Little Calvin bolts out of bed. He realizes that it's 8 o'clock. Oh shit! And as soon as that happened, Calvin threw on some clothes, rushed out the door, and I just remember in the beginning just feeling so absolutely tired. And I'm pretty sure it's mostly because I overslept, and I was actually supposed to meet up with my friend earlier, which is the Columbine school shooter, by the way. Not again, we're talking about names here, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I was actually supposed to meet up with the Columbine shooter around 2 to 3 p.m. and do some stereotypical gay shit, like, oh yeah, let's drink some alcohol, guys. It's New Year's, yeah, how about that? But obviously I ended up sleeping into a ridiculous amount. I think I got like 12 hours of sleep last night. So I just woke up feeling extremely tired because of the fact that I slept so long, and pretty much fast forward, after getting dressed and whatnot, I ended up meeting up with my friend, aka the Columbine shooter at some random Mexican restaurant. I remember getting a big tub of nachos. Little Calvin got a ton of nachos. And of course, the school shooter ended up getting a bean and cheese burrito because bean and cheese burritos are basically what fucking the school shooters eat. I mean, fuck them, am I right? No, I'm joking. No, but we ended up eating, and in the middle of this delicious, lovely, calming meal, that's when the school shooter drops some shit, and shit gets a little bit more tense and a little bit more serious. See, checking out little Calvin sitting there just eating his fucking nachos. That's all he wanted to do. And the school shooter flickers his eyes at Calvin. They make eye contact, and she says, "Hey, Calvin, guess what I got? I got us a lot of LSD, Calvin. You want to do some LSD? I know we've talked about it in the past, and I know you've been wanting to do it, Calvin. Let's do it on New Year's, Calvin." And the person doesn't sound like that, by the way, just in case you're 10 years old. But yeah, she ends up bringing up that she got some LSD, and it was actually really fucking convenient, and ironically really cool considering the fact that me and my friend, the school shooter, in the past have been talking so much about how we've been wanting to try LSD overall. So the fact that she finally got some, pretty much just in time for New Year's, was fucking sick. So of course I sit there and I'm like, well, I don't know, man, I'm tired as shit, but screw it. What's the worst that could happen, right? That was the first mistake, by the way. Take notes now. This is the big mistake. Number one, this was the first clear mistake. Anyways, though, after I signed off on a fucking death wish to do LSD on New Year's, which was happening in about 3 hours from now, we ended up fucking off, paying our bill, and I think we ended up staying at a Subway after that, just to kind of relax and just get warm because it's cold as fuck in Seattle right now. So we just kind of went in there, relaxed. I got a coffee, which was really weird, by the way. I think it was like an exclusive to that store that night because the dude was actually making the coffee out of one of those fucking Keurigs, right? So I definitely knew something was up, but I ended up just getting one of those coffees. We kind of just relaxed, and after about an hour or two later, I think we ended up going to the gas station and then coming back. And then when it was about like 10:50 to 11, like 10-ish clock, the school shooter tapped my shoulder, looked at me dead in the eyes. The lights dimmed around this girl, aka the goddamn school shooter, and she said in the darkest voice, not really that dark, she was actually really cheerful, but in the darkest voice for the overdramaticism of this video, she said, Calvin, I think it's time we take the LSD. It takes about 45 minutes for it to kick in, Calvin, and we gotta take it right now, so it hits us right when it hits 12 o'clock and the fireworks go off in Seattle. We gotta do it, Calvin. And that's exactly when she pulled right out of her fucking wizard's hat. Not really, it was just her fucking backpack. A little package. And she opened up the package, and there was 4 pills. Right, or it was like candy, right? And I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, I thought LSD was supposed to be the things that you put on your tongue." Yeah, that's what I thought too. But apparently they do it with candy too. They convert it into candy. I don't fucking know. Okay, look up a video on it. Anyway, she pulls out 4 candy pieces and she says, "We gotta take 2 each right now." And she hands me the pills. And I say, well, that's gonna be our show for tonight. Time to go fucking crazy. And no, I just took the pills. Alright, and spoiler alert, that was mistake number 2. Alright, write that down in class, everyone. Mistake number 2, taking the goddamn LSD. After that, nothing really happened for the first 20 minutes or so. I mean, I just was like, alright. Just kind of sat there and worried that the school shooter might have drugged me and I'm gonna wake up tomorrow in the middle of the fucking woods, maybe in the middle of the goddamn Hunger Games, with a pain in my ass and a blade in the other one and have to fight a bunch of goddamn children. I mean, I don't know. I just kind of sat there, stressed out a bit, and after about 2 minutes, we ended up leaving the Subway and started walking down to the Seattle Space Needle, which was where they were kind of doing their little event for Seattle. You know, they were gonna have a bunch of fireworks, so we started making our way down there. And, well, after a long-ass journey of walking across a few streets, we ended up making it to the Space Needle, just in time for the fireworks. We sat there, we took a little picture, talked about the possibility of being in this big crowd with everyone else and some potential school shooter coming by and killing everyone. And, well, about 5 minutes later, the clock dinged 12 o'clock at night, and it was the new year. Fireworks went off, everyone cheered, and while I was observing this massive demonstration of bright lights and fireworks, that's when it kind of hit me. I started feeling a little bit off. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't anything crazy. I didn't start seeing the fucking boogeyman or some shit, but I just felt a little bit off once again. Felt a little bit nauseous, felt a little bit different, and that's exactly when it started raining extremely hard, and that rain quickly turned into fucking hail, and we rushed out and decided to rush back to the apartment. We started walking for a few minutes in the same direction where everyone else was walking because all humans are fucking sheep, and that's when we realized, hey, I don't know where the fuck I'm going at all. That's when I called out to the school shooter, hey, school shooter, do you have any idea where we're even fucking going? And she looked back, no, I don't, just the woods, am I right? No, she didn't say that, but no, she looked at me and she was like, I have no fucking idea. So I was like, alright, well, fuck. Let's just pull up Google Maps then. School shooter, pull out your phone. Find the fucking directions back to the apartment. And that's when she pulled out her phone and she, for some reason, asked her fucking Siri. And I really have no idea why, but she looked at her phone and said, where is Calvin's house? And I don't even fucking know, dude. Just, yeah, she literally just said, where is Calvin's house? And, yeah, just spoiler alert. That it ended up fucking working, and that's when little Calvin noticed that she started giggling. And you know, it wasn't major in the beginning. In the beginning, the little school shooter fuck was like, heh, 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 and then it just erupted into this all-out maniacal laugh. Like it was Hitler after he just got done killing a bunch of Jews. She just erupted into this, ha! Okay, it wasn't like that at all. I can't mock laughing. I'm very bad at it. No, but yeah, guys, she just started laughing all over the place, and that's when little Calvin, our hero, realized that, oh shit, it's gonna happen to me soon too. She's ahead of me. I gotta get us back home before we end up dead, or arrested, or fucking found on worldstar.com. I mean, we have no idea what the fuck is gonna happen, right? There's a bunch of people running around, it's hailing outside. It was dangerous. So little Calvin quickly made up his mind that it had to be his motherfucking duty to get them both safely back to the apartment, because slowly, he could feel it. He was feeling more and more off. So long story short, I ended up pulling out my phone, just quickly looking up my apartment building, and I, well, got directions and led us both back. And throughout the entire way, I just remember getting more and more just absolutely zoned out and just feeling more and more weird. And for the school shooter over here, yeah, she is just the exact opposite, okay? She was laughing the entire way. She was giggling about shit. She was saying, like, I feel like I'm skating now. And she, well, honestly, seemed like she was having a really good time. Jesus Christ. But, well, we finally get back to the apartment. And we get on the elevator to go to my apartment. And that's when the fucking little evil school shooter fucker starts looking at everyone on the elevator, and there's quite a few people on the elevator, and just starts saying poop and then turning, looking at another person, poop, and then turning, like a little bit more slower, right? Like a little bit more zoned out, like poop, poop, poop. And I just start laughing, absolutely uncontrollably, and I just can't fucking stop, dude. I don't know why, but it was just so fucking funny at that point in time. It's really hard to explain how I was feeling because I was on fucking drugs, so obviously it makes no sense overall because my goddamn mental state has been changed. But for me, it was just like the funniest thing of all time, and I just started laughing, and I couldn't even help myself. And everyone on the elevator was just kind of staring at us like, what the fuck are they on? But one guy on the goddamn elevator looked at both of us, and I think he was the last person to get off before us, but he looked at both of us, and I'll never forget this. He said, I remember my first time on bath salts, and then he walked away, and it mind-fucked me, okay? At this point in time, I think that this was mistake number 4, okay? Laughing at that guy. I think that was a fucking mistake, because not only do I feel like he's gonna come back tonight and try to kill me, even though it's been like a fucking week, but on top of that, it fucking psyched me out. You know why? Because I wasn't on bath salts. But then I started thinking, well, how do I know I'm not on bath salts? I didn't fucking buy these drugs. Maybe this guy was a part of a goddamn setup, and it sounds ridiculous. I know this sounds, oh, well, that's fucking stupid. Well, I was on drugs, okay? Give me a goddamn break. For some reason, it started psyching me out, right? Just started fucking making me go goddamn paranoid. And we ended up walking back to the hotel room right after this, and I was just stuck in my head, thinking, not saying anything. And you know, it was really fucking me up, dude. But thankfully, when we finally got into the apartment, the school shooter, fucking genius mastermind here, ended up cheering me up somehow. She was like telling jokes. She started talking about sober Calvin, right? She looked at me and she's like, sober Calvin got us back here, when we were both well aware that we were both extremely fucked up. And that ironically psyched me out a little bit. Like I started thinking like, so is sober Calvin a different person. And like for some reason we started like back and forth, you know, like, sober Calvin, this is what he wanted, this is what he goddamn wanted. And you know, after that we started laughing, and this is still like the early stages of the trip, because it's like, you know, LSD is a 12-hour thing. But regardless of the 12 hours and the paranoia, for the next like 6 hours it was just tons of fun. We ended up just kind of back and forthing like just crazy shit. Like we would talk about sober Calvin, and then we would talk about what did sober Calvin want, and then we just started getting like minor hallucinations. And just for like hallucinations, I feel like I should just speak up against this, because I feel like no one has ever really done this, and it's fucking annoying because I didn't know what to expect the first time I actually tried shrooms. But like hallucinations, with all the experience I've had, which isn't really that much, but hallucinations to me has never really been vivid, you know. Maybe you have to take more drugs to get that, but every single time I saw something, it was clearly like I knew it was not actually there, you know. It's one of those things that's kind of like it's so hard to explain something like this, because you gotta understand that when you take drugs, the whole fucking premise of it is that ultimately it's changing your mental state and pretty much how your brain actually reacts to things. So it's hard to explain how my brain reacts to things on drugs and for it to make sense, but pretty much you see things there, but they're not vivid, you know. It feels more like imagination times a million, more than, oh shit, it's like someone is in front of me, the fucking boogie monster is in front of me, okay, the fucking Frankenstein is about to rape me. It's not like that. But then again, I'm not like some fucking expert on this shit, Jesus Christ. But regardless, we ended up just playing around with some stuff. We ended up talking a little bit more. At one point in time, I ended up putting up that little onesie I bought a long time ago for a video, and for some reason I thought it was a fucking lizard, and then I started staring at a sock and I felt like it was my prey or some shit. It was really fucking strange, very odd. I know later on I ended up getting naked and humping the fucking wall and everything else in the room. It was very fucking weird. And I'm not talking like sexually humping. I'm talking about like just repeatedly slowly moving my junk against the wall away. I probably look like a goddamn homeless person, okay? If you walked into my room while I was doing that, you'd probably leave and call the police immediately and think I was some sort of crazed homeless man, alright? I don't fucking know. But pretty much for the next 6-ish hours, everything was great. It was happy, it was fun, it was cheerful, but then it all changed. See, what happened was that the school shooter here, the fucking witch, the one behind it all, I'm just joking, she's not behind it all, but the school shooter here ends up getting a little bit of a headache, okay? She says she gets a migraine, right? And she starts really getting tired as well, like she's, you know, she's feeling like shit, right? And she ends up going to bed. And what I think was going on was that her, like, cheerfulness and positivity was, like, reflecting off me, and it was going back and forth. But she ends up going to bed, but not before contributing the worst thing to the trip by far. And I'm not trying to blame her, but like, this did fucking psych me the fuck out. So right before she tells me like I'm getting a headache, I'm gonna go get some sleep, like I'm not enjoying this shit anymore, okay, my head hurts, she ends up looking at me and saying, the one guy knew, the bath salts guy knew. And then she goes to bed, right? And it psyched me the fuck out. Because what psyched me out in the beginning was like, oh shit, this guy's fucking behind it. And again, it sounds retarded. I know. It makes no fucking sense. I was on drugs. I can't explain it. But for some reason, I thought that guy was like fucking Illuminati or something. I don't know what. It's very strange world of LSD, okay? You convince yourself stuff that makes no fucking sense at all. And the best way I can explain it is like, have you ever been in a dream and some shit is going on and it's absolutely retarded? But in the dream, you react completely normally and you take it completely serious. But when you wake up, you're like, that's fucking ridiculous. After she tells me that, I start thinking that that guy's gonna come and kill me. I start thinking that I'm going crazy. At one point in time, I think that, you know, this is bath salts or something, and that I'm never gonna come down from this trip. And then just to completely add on to this, when you're on LSD, everything goes by at a fucking painfully slow pace. And if you're having a great time, that's great. But if you're not, and your head starts hurting, and you're stuck in your head, and you just can't stop thinking, and you're thinking you're going crazy, or you're thinking someone's gonna come and fucking kill you and shit, well then, yeah, it's not that fucking good. And that's when I start stressing the fuck out. At one point in time, I know this makes no logical sense, but I start taking fucking pictures of myself, because for some reason I like convinced myself that like I would have to take a picture to like prove something to the police if he tried to do something, or that like if I overdosed or something, which I wasn't even taking anymore. That's the weird thing. It just made no sense. I started taking pictures of myself, and then I started thinking like, oh shit, I gotta fucking delete all these things. Fuck it, like I gotta burn this shit. And then it was just absolute madness, right? And pretty much I woke the school shooter up like 5 different times. She was getting really fucking annoyed, which is fair enough. I woke her up like 5 times and she was not feeling good at all. And that's when I finally told her, look, like, I know you have sleeping pills. She did a little bit of research on them before we actually took the LSD, just to find out, like, and to make sure they're like safe to take with LSD. And apparently, like, if you're really having a bad trip, you can take these and you'll just pass the fuck out. And she told me if anything ever gets really shitty, we would just take the pills. But I pretty much end up telling her, just like, give me the fucking pills. I fucking hate this. Because the thing is I'm an absolute control freak, and I was getting to the point in time where I was thinking so much about just stupid shit that made so much sense in my head. Like, the fucking bath salts guy. Yeah, random guy on the elevator, Illuminati gonna kill me. Makes perfect sense, but I couldn't just overall stop thinking about it. And it was getting to the point where I was telling myself, okay, I need to stop thinking. Like, the whole thing with LSD is that, like, if you're in the present and you're, like, relaxed, it's supposed to be pretty chill. But I was just so stuck in my head, and the thing is with just basic psychology, you can't tell yourself to stop thinking, and that's what I was pretty much getting to the point of. Because the thing is you can't tell yourself to stop thinking, because that itself is a fucking thought, and it's literally fucking circular logic, which makes you even think fucking more, especially if you're someone like me, and it got ridiculous. And then, of course, I ended up taking the pills, and I just lay there for the next 10 minutes, which felt like a goddamn eternity, but regardless, after this 10 minutes of pain, little Calvin, our hero, little Calvin, the man, the myth, the legend that brought fucking the school shooter back to goddamn safety, ended up slowly falling asleep. And, well, about 12 hours later, I woke up, and that was pretty much it. I woke up feeling extremely worn out. I felt a little bit tired, but I got out of bed, drank a Red Bull, opened up some League of Legends, and I celebrated. Because I survived more than a fucking annoying-ass New Year's Eve party. I survived LSD. And that's not really that much of an achievement. I mean, it's really not that hard to fucking not die on LSD, but, I mean, still, it felt like a goddamn adventure. And for all of you people asking yourself right now, well, shit, maybe I should do LSD. I don't want to say if I recommend or say that, you know, it's the worst thing of all time and I don't recommend it, because the thing with LSD is it really is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. There's really nothing that can emulate it or anything like that, you know? Like, there's other drugs that are a little bit more hardcore, or drugs that are a little bit less hardcore, like shrooms or something like that, but it's still a very unique experience, and I value that shit, you know? I fucking hated this trip, or at least the second half, but it's a cool experience, and yeah, I don't want to say, oh, do LSD, because that's fucking ridiculous, but, I mean, if you do decide to do it, at least make sure you're in a safe environment. I know that if you're in middle school, you're gonna hear stories like, oh yeah, George took LSD and he thought he was an orange, so he tried to fucking peel himself. Like, that doesn't happen, alright? But just don't take it on a fucking bridge or something, or like, don't take it, you know, in a place where you could fucking try to attack someone or hurt yourself or something ridiculous like that. Be with some friends. And if I could give you a little piece of advice, play some music right before it goes down, because one of the mistakes I had was I felt I was just like in the wrong mindset. And I feel like with this drug in particular, whatever your mindset is in the beginning, it's going to continuously ricochet back and forth. Like in the beginning, I felt like, oh, we have to do this. And then when I finally got back to the apartment, we have to do this filled with paranoia of, oh shit, we're gonna get fucking arrested, ended up just circulating throughout the entirety of the night, right? And even though I had a lot of fun in the beginning and was cheerful, as soon as that other person ended up going to bed, it just went to fucking shit, dude. And yeah, I mean, that's my overall thoughts on it for the most part. It was a crazy experience, it was a lot of fun in hindsight, but when it was actually going on, yeah, not the best fucking time.
He needs some milk.
But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the most part. I just realized that this video is fucking 22 minutes long, and holy fuck, I was not expecting me to talk about it for this long, but I really wanted to just kind of give my thoughts on it more than just like, just kind of a story-based level, you know? I just didn't want to, you know, tell the story of it. I really wanted to break it down, because to me personally, just a really fucking crazy experience. And even though I'm not going to be doing it anytime soon, fuck that shit, it still was something very unique. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, where it's just kind of more open-ended and I kind of just talk about random stuff like this, well then be sure to leave a like on this video. If the video just does fucking crazy well, I'll probably make 1 or 2 more. I mean, I really don't have any other drugs that really, you know, new drugs to talk about, but I could definitely talk about some of the experiences I've had with like different things like kind of around this area. So leave a like if you guys want more stuff like this in the future. As many of you guys know, there's a little bit of a fucking YouTube drought right now. A lot of people are losing subs. I'm one of them. I'm being affected by this bullshit. So if you guys could really come out and support me, that'd be great as fuck. And yeah, thanks for watching once again, guys. My voice is rasp. It's dead now because of this video. And yeah, thanks for watching for probably the 3rd time now. And peace out, guys. Adios.
Yeah. It's cognitory. Now we got conquered. It wasn't shit, you didn't show me love. They say cows change, but I'm still the same, so let them talk.